Howdy, folks. I'm pumped because today I want to share some vocabulary based on a video game that I used to play religiously a few years ago. It's called Red Dead Redemption 1. Let's learn some useful words.
I'm married. I have a son. I had a daughter, but she died.
I had a daughter. Pay attention to the pronunciation of that word. It's not daughter, it's daughter. I had a daughter. Longer sounding vowel.
Years before that, I rode in a gang.
Years before that, I rode in a gang. Rode is the simple past form of the verb ride. I rode in a gang.
We robbed banks, trains, held people ransom.
We held people ransom. That might be a new word for you. What is ransom? It is an amount of money which is requested by people who have kidnapped someone for the release of the kidnapped individual. So here we have a couple words that we should pronounce correctly. One is release, the other one is ransom. Ransom. A good word also to learn is hostage. Hostage. So we say host, but hostage, to hold someone hostage.
We killed people we didn't like. Bill Williamson was in that gang. Now, if I don't capture my former brother in arms, great harm will befall my family.
If I don't capture my brother in arms, great harm will befall my family. Befall means to happen to. Will befall my family. No preposition there. It will happen to my family. Great harm will take place. We must use it as a transitive verb. You need an object in that sentence. My brother in arms. Pay attention to the pronunciation of the word brother. Brother, short sound. So we had daughter, brother, father, and we had mother, right? So these vowels are important. Pronounce them correctly.
Now, I don't suppose any of this is very interesting to you, but I hope it explains why I wasn't so eager to talk about it.
I hope it explains why I wasn't so eager, why I wasn't so enthusiastic about talking about these matters.
No, I do understand. I had no idea. You poor man.
Even in this new country, memories don't really fade.
Memories don't really fade. They don't disappear. They linger. They stick around. Linger. They linger. They stick around. We hardly forget memories.
My father was an illiterate Scot born on the boat into New York.
My father was illiterate, unable to read and write. Let's pronounce it together. Illiterate, illiterate, when said a bit more quickly.
He never saw his homeland, but to hear him talk about it, you'd imagine he only ever ate haggis and wore a kilt.
You would imagine he only ate haggis, which is a traditional Scottish dish, and wore kilts or a kilt. So it's a countable word, and it's a piece of garment that looks like a skirt. So look it up on Google Images.
And he hated the English for what they had done to his great-grandparents that he'd never met. People don't forget. Nothing gets forgiven.
That's true. Especially when it comes to money. And you know, even now, after all his labors, my father's debts are still terrible.
Even after all his labors, labor is hard work. So even after all his hard work, he still has to pay off his debts. Debt. We don't pronounce the B there. Debt. His debts are terrible.
I worry every day about us losing the ranch. It would kill him.
My father died when I was 8 years old. His eyes were, well, let's just say he was blinded in a bar fight south of Chicago.
Unfortunately, he was blinded in a bar fight. A bar fight broke out, and unfortunately, he was blinded. He lost his eyesight.
My mother died during childbirth. She was a prostitute, and he was her, well, I don't know what he was. So I was sent off to an orphanage and ran away and fell in with a gang.
He fell in with a gang. When you fall in with a crowd, you join a group of people who are not known for the wonderful things they do. Usually, people fall in with the wrong crowd. So that's a great phrase for you to learn, to fall in with. There are two prepositions there. Anyways, I hope you've learned some useful words from my video lesson. And if you have any questions, you know what to do.